In the quiet suburbs of San Diego, California, where the ocean breeze carried the salty tang of the Pacific, Mia Reyes grew up dreaming of flight. Born to a Mexican-American father who worked as a mechanic at the naval base and a mother who taught elementary school, Mia's childhood was filled with stories of her grandfather, a World War II pilot who had flown P-51 Mustangs over Europe. "The sky doesn't care about where you come from," her abuelo would say, his eyes twinkling under the brim of his faded cap. "It only cares if you can dance with the wind." Mia was 10 when she first sat in a cockpit simulator at an air show. The controls felt alive in her hands, the virtual horizon tilting as she banked left. From that moment, she was hooked. She excelled in school, joining the Civil Air Patrol at 14, where she learned basic aviation and search and rescue tactics. By high school graduation, she had her private pilot's license, funded by scholarships and part-time jobs flipping burgers. College brought her to the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs. The Rocky Mountains loomed like silent guardians as she navigated the rigorous curriculum. Mia was small-framed, with dark hair always tied back in a neat ponytail and sharp brown eyes that missed nothing. But the academy was a man's world, or so it seemed. Whispers followed her, too delicate for combat. "She's here for the diversity quota." Mia ignored them, graduating in the top 10% of her class in 2018. Her first assignment was to Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada, training on F-16. The thrill of pulling Gs, the roar of afterburners, it was everything she imagined. But during a routine exercise, she aborted a simulated strike when she spotted what looked like civilian markers on the range. It turned out to be a training error, but her commanders labeled it overly cautious. "Reyes, war isn't about hesitation," her CO barked. "It's about precision under pressure." That label stuck. By 2022, with tensions rising in the Middle East again, Mia was reassigned to drone operations at Al-Asad Air Base in Iraq's Anbar province. Safe remote piloting, they called it. No risk of ejection seats or enemy fire. Just a screen, a joystick, and a satellite link. Mia saw it for what it was, a sidelining. But she bit her tongue and packed her bags. Anbar province was a vast expanse of unforgiving desert, stretching over 53,000 square miles, larger than some U.S. states, bordered by Syria to the north, Jordan to the west, and Saudi Arabia to the south. It was a patchwork of arid plateaus, wadis, dry riverbeds that flashed with floods during rare rains, and the fertile Euphrates River Valley snaking through its heart. The capital, Ramadi, sat along the river, but much of Anbar was barren, dotted with small towns like Haditha and Heat, where date palms clustered around oases. Temperatures soared to 120 degrees Fahrenheit in summer, plummeting to near freezing at night. Dust storms could blot out the sun, turning day to twilight. Historically, Anbar had been a hotbed of insurgency. During the 2003 invasion, it was the site of fierce resistance. Al-Qaeda in Iraq thrived here, and later, ISIS swept through in 2014, capturing Fallujah and Ramadi in brutal campaigns. U.S.-led coalitions reclaimed it by 2017, but remnants lingered, launching ambushes on convoys and patrols. Route Michigan, a key highway from Baghdad westward through Anbar, was notorious for IEDs and rocket attacks. Mia arrived at Al-Asad in late 2023 amid a resurgence of ISIS-K activity. The base, sprawled across the desert like a fortified city, housed thousands of U.S. and coalition troops. Her role, piloting MQ-9 Reapers for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, ISR. The Reaper was a beast, 36 feet long, with a 66-foot wingspan, powered by a Honeywell turboprop engine pushing it to 300 miles per hour. It could loiter at 25,000 feet for 27 hours, armed with up to 8 AGM-114 Hellfire missiles, or a mix of laser-guided bombs like the GBU-12. Its sensors, a multispectral targeting system with infrared TV cameras and laser designators, could spot a man from miles away. But Mia was kept on routine patrols. No strikes, no danger-close support. "You're too cautious for the hot seat," Colonel Harlan, her squadron commander, said during her in-brief. Harlan was a grizzled veteran, mustache like steel wool, eyes hardened by too many deployments. We need pilots who pull the trigger without second-guessing. Mia nodded, but inside she seethed. In her quarters, a cramped container with a bunk, desk, and flickering fluorescent light, she began her secret regimen. Every night, after 12-hour shifts staring at feeds of empty desert, she ran simulations on her laptop. She studied Anbar's terrain, the wadis that funneled ambushes, the palm groves hiding technicals, pickup trucks mounted with machine guns, the mud compounds perfect for sniper nests. She memorized wind patterns, ballistic tables for Hellfires, and offset lasing techniques to avoid collateral. She pored over after-action reports from past operations. In 2015, Reapers had struck ISIS convoys in Anbar, saving Iraqi forces. In 2017, a drone thwarted an attack near Kirkuk. Mia knew the Reaper's potential. It wasn't just a camera in the sky, it was a guardian angel with teeth. Months passed. Mia's caution became a joke among the pilots. Reyes would abort if a goat wandered into frame. They'd laugh in the chow hall. She smiled through it, but her resolve hardened. She volunteered for extra sensor operator shifts, learning every quirk of the Lynx radar and Gorgon stare wide area surveillance pod. One evening, as a dust storm howled outside, Mia confided in her roommate, Lieutenant Jamie Torres, a fellow Latina from Texas. "They think I'm weak because I think before I act," Mia said, staring at her sim screen. Jamie shrugged. "Prove them wrong when it counts." Mia didn't know then how soon that moment would come. Life at Asad was a grind of monotony punctuated by alerts. Mia's days started at 0500 with PT, runs in the choking dust, push-ups under the relentless sun. Breakfast was MRES, or chow hall eggs that tasted like cardboard. Then into the ground control station, GCS, a windowless trailer humming with servers and screens. The GCS was her cockpit, dual monitors showing the Reaper's feed, joysticks for control, keyboards for commands. A 1.2-second satellite delay meant every input was deliberate. Mia flew Shadow 21, her assigned bird, on endless orbits over Anbar. She'd watch convoys snake along Route Michigan, a 2-lane asphalt ribbon cutting through the desert from Baghdad to the Jordanian border. The route was vital for logistics, fuel, ammo, food for bases like Al-Asad. ISIS remnants loved it. They'd bury IEDs in the sand shoulders, launch RPGs from wadis, or swarm with technicals. In 2014, during the Anbar campaign, ISIS had routed Iraqi armored columns here. Even now, in 2025, attacks persisted. Just last month, a convoy near Ramadi lost 2 Humvees to a suicide bomber. Mia's patrols were eyes only. If she spotted threats, she'd report to command, who might scramble F-15s or Apaches. But response times were 20 to 30 minutes, eternity in an ambush. One afternoon during a briefing, Mia raised her hand. "Sir, what if we preposition Reapers for quicker strikes on convoys?" Colonel Harlan scowled. "Reyes, doctrine says we wait for authorization. You're not here to rewrite the book." She swallowed the retort. That night, she ran sims of convoy ambushes, practicing Hellfire launches at 50-meter offsets, danger close but surgical. Her personal life was sparse. Calls home to her parents, where her dad would ask about the flying robots and her mom worried about safety. No boyfriend. Deployments didn't allow it. Mia found solace in books, biographies of trailblazers like Missy Cummings, one of the Navy's first female fighter pilots who advocated for drones, or Tech Sergeant Courtney, the Air Force's first enlisted female drone pilot. "I won't be sidelined forever," Mia wrote in her journal. Then, on a sweltering June day in 2025, the routine shattered. Convoy Hammer 6 rolled out from Baghdad at dawn. 30 vehicles, Humvees, MRAPs, fuel tankers, carrying supplies to Al-Asad. led by Marine Captain Derek Hale, a battle-hardened vet from Ohio with over 100 Marines aboard. The route, 200 miles through Anbar past Ramadi along the Euphrates, then west into the desert. Hale's radio crackled with chatter. "Eyes sharp, people. Intel says ISIS chatter up." The convoy stretched a mile, dust plumes trailing like smoke. They passed mud villages, kids waving from doorways, shepherds herding goats, but in the palm groves shadows moved. At grid 38 SLB 892147, near a narrow wadi flanked by compounds, it hit. An IED detonated under the lead Humvee, flipping it like a toy. Machine gun fire erupted from the ridges. DSHKs on technicals, PKMs from rooftops, RPGs streaked in, slamming into vehicles. "Ambush, contact left," Hale yelled. Marines poured out, taking cover behind wrecks, returning fire with M4s and SAW machine guns, but they were pinned in a kill zone. Enemies on three sides, 800 fighters swarming. Radio to command. "Hammer 6 under heavy fire, request KAS immediate." Back at Al-Assad, the ops center lit up. Screens showed the chaos via satellite. F-15 KAS were 30 minutes out. Apaches grounded by sandstorm. Mia's shift was ending, but she lingered in the GCS, watching the feed. Her heart pounded. Those were Americans down there, trapped, ammo dwindling. Colonel Harlan barked orders. "Get the fast movers en route, no drone strikes, too close for Reapers." Mia stepped forward. "Sir, Shadow 21 is 12 minutes out, loaded with Hellfires and GBUS. I can do danger close." Harlan turned, eyes narrowing. "Reyes, you're not authorized. You're too cautious for this. Stand down." She held his gaze. "Sir, they're dying." He waved her off. "That's an order." Mia exited the ops center, the siren's wail echoing in her ears. In the hall, she counted, 10 minutes to arm and launch? No. Shadow 21 was already airborne on patrol. She made her decision. Mia sprinted to her backup GCS, a secondary station for emergencies. The lieutenant on duty, her friend Jamie, looked up in surprise. "Mia, shift's over. I need the sticks, now." Jamie saw the fire in her eyes. "What's going on?" "Convoy's hit. Command won't let me help. Log me in as a comms test." Jamie hesitated, then nodded. "Don't get us court-martialed." Mia sat, hands steady on the controls. She overrode the auto-orbit, banking Shadow 21 south toward the grid. The feed showed the ambush, burning vehicles, Marines and craters, tracers crisscrossing. On guard frequency, she keyed up. "Any station, Shadow 21 diverting to support Hammer 6, inbound 10 mics." Command exploded. "Shadow 21 negative, RTB immediate." She flipped the command net to mute, leaving only ground frecs. The Reaper descended to 15,000 feet, sensors locking on. The Lynx radar painted targets, 3 technicals maneuvering, mortar teams in groves, RPG squads on roofs. Mia marked the first technical, 80 meters from friendlies. Clean. "Rifle," she whispered, launching a Hellfire. The missile streaked down, impacting in a fireball. The DSHK went silent. Marines on the ground heard the whoosh, saw the explosion. Hale's voice. "Air support." "Who the hell is that?" "Shadow 21, Mia replied. "Mark your positions with IR strobes. I'll work the edges." Hale, breathless. "Roger, strobes up. Enemies at 50 meters north." Mia lined up, lasing offset to avoid frags. Another Hellfire. Boom. The assault wave faltered. She worked methodically, just like her Sims. A compound wall raking fire, GBU-12 airburst, shattering it without collapsing on Marines. Command was furious, but reports trickled in. Drones saving them. For 15 minutes, Mia dismantled the ambush. Hellfires on vehicles, short bursts from the, wait, Reapers don't have guns. Correct. Reapers are missile bomb only, no GAU-8 like A-10. Adjust, use precision munitions. She used the Reaper's endurance to loiter, designating for self-guided strikes. The convoy broke free, limping east. Mia climbed out, fuel low. "Hammer 6, good luck." Hale. Shadow pilot, you're a lifesaver. Semper Fi. Back at base, Mia was hauled before Harlan. You disobeyed orders. Unauthorized launch. Yes, sir, but 100 Marines are alive. The investigation followed. Statements, reviews. The Marine commander sent commendations. Harlan relented. You'll face reprimand, but damn if you didn't prove your point. 6 months later, Mia led tactics training, teaching cautious precision. Her story spread, inspiring female pilots. She kept a box of thank yous from the convoy. In the end, caution wasn't weakness, it was her strength.